Hello everyone and welcome to the mill today. Today we have a nice kind of Stonemaier update episode for you. Earlier this week we got an update to the progress chart, so I'm mostly going to go through that. Jamie's kind of hinted at some other tidbits and some live casts, and then we also, if you are subscribed to the Expedition Scythe newsletter, we got one of those recently too, which had some surprises in it. So I'll start there and then I'll move into the progress chart. So in regards to the Scythe and Expedition newsletter, which if you are interested or really enjoy the 1920s universe that Stonemaier has done with those two, then that might be something you want to be part of. So what Jamie did was in that newsletter, he put a piece of art from the upcoming Expeditions expansion, and he teased it, and actually in a live cast he said he was hoping late 2025 maybe just start giving us a little bit of more information, or I might have put that in the newsletter, but yes, he said there will be a more robust sneak peek later 2025 with some major surprise elements. That was in the newsletter. So if that gets you excited, you definitely want to be part of that newsletter. All right. And then, let's see, I believe that was the biggest. He said that expansion, he is looking at a mid-2026 release. So that's kind of the Scythe Expeditions news that just came out recently. Besides that, Apiary is on BGA. Wingspan Asia Digital is also there through Monster Couch, not on BGA. So those were kind of some of the other pieces that have come out recently. Jamie has mentioned, kind of have Wormspan here being highlighted because in September we should be seeing that Dragon Academy expansion, which maybe Molly and I have seen it already and we're not talking about it quite yet, but Jamie has mentioned that's coming. He also in the last live cast kind of hinted that maybe October there could be another release. He was really saying how 2025 has been busier than they usually have at Stonemaier for releases and a little bit more, probably because Tokaido and the Tokaido lines kind of come in, so that was stuff they could get out. But he felt they're getting a little crammed here with spacing, so that maybe they would try to not be as crammed with a bunch of releases in the future, because he likes to highlight anything that they make for a little bit of time. But yes, we should have the Wormspan Dragon Academy coming quite soon in regards to coverage and learning more from Jamie. So that's exciting. All right, so now, progress chart. Got a recent one. Put this up here. Obviously, you can find this on the Stonemaier website, but I am going to kind of go through the highlights here. All right. Now, Vantage is still technically at the top. It has gone for it at this point. It has its retail release in small shops, and then the kind of any sort of big web store releases will be later this month. So Vantage will be probably coming off that chart really soon. Now, what is interesting for Q4 2025, you have both Wormspan Dragon Academy and Tokaido Duo. So the Stonemaier version of that are in the exact same spot. Those are in freight shipping right now. So I'm going to guess those probably come pretty close together. But that's what's next. After that, it has the Wingspan Fan Design Bird Pack. So that one got pushed back a little bit. It does say Q4 2025 still, so it says they're not quite on a boat yet according to that chart, but they are still being printed and should be later this year. I'm really excited to see which fan packs they went with and see what Travis has done with kind of getting all of that together. All right, then more Tokaido stuff. So not only are we getting Namiji the game and the duo game, but also the expansions Crossroads and Matsuri, which are currently being printed and expected before the end of the year. So you can see that down here. Well, Namiji's not till 2027. That is eventually coming, but we are getting the Tokaido expansions. It says Q4 2025. Namiji's down there towards the bottom of the chart. All right, and then Codename Cape is on there, and that one is similar to the Tokaido and the Wingspan. Tokaido expansions and Wingspan spots, and that one says that it is, sorry, making sure I get says it's on Prince and Assemble. So that means 2025, they're still planning on getting us, well, we should have Dragon Academy and Tokaido Duo coming sooner. And then the Wingspan Fan Design Bird Pack, the Tokaido expansions, and Cape, all before the end of 2025. And this is what Jamie was like, oh my gosh, there is a lot still coming and a lot of Stonemaier products this year. So really exciting time to be a Stonemaier fan. So that's where we are with that. There was no change for the Finspan expansion. That is currently still slated for Q1 of 2026, as is the Wingspansion 4. So a lot of the World of Wingspan coming early 2026. Super excited for both those expansions, that's for sure. And then, as I already mentioned, the Expeditions Expansion 2 is slated for 2026. Hopefully, that's what Jamie was kind of saying. And it's there were no changes as of right now, but it is currently in, it looks like, graphic design. So hopefully we'll see that by this time next year. Should be very exciting. All right, now we have, let's see, Codename Bone. Looks like it is in solo design. So Codename Bone has made some progress, but still has quite a ways to go. And Bone is currently slated for Q4 2026. We all know some of these can kind of change around, but Bone is making some progress. All right. Then after Bone, that's where he has slated Namiji for 2027. Codename Deep for Q1 2027. Bale Q question mark 2027. And then both Lost in Keys still have question marks for sometime in the 2020 somethings, but we don't really know that. But Bale is currently on art and play testing. Lost is in design and play testing. And Keys is still in design. All right. So that's kind of where everything with the progress chart is. As I said, you can either pause where I held it up in the video, or you can go and see that on Stonemaier's website. I think it's kind of cool. I've seen actually quite a few companies kind of do, not the exact same design, but since Stonemaier kind of started doing these progress charts, other companies are doing it as well. They're a really nice visual to kind of see where everything's at. But I hope you're as excited as Molly and I are at the mill. And soon, hopefully, we'll be bringing you some more content with some newer products. And until next time, have a great day or weekend or evening. Bye.